Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the H-Town Heel Show, where today we will be talking about series number 8 as the Astros win the series over the Cleveland Guardians, take 2 out of 3. And once again, we apologize for missing the Cardinals series. We had some deferring schedules, and, it was a sweep. So there's not really much other to say other than the sky is falling down and the season's over. But, Astros get swept in versus the Cardinals. The pitching was not good enough. Offense did their part. Just the pitching continued to not be good, but got to go on from it. And we're here to talk about series number 8 against the Guardians. So, game 1, Astros win 9-2, and a very kind of like fresh breath of air, versus coming out of that Cardinal series. It's one guy who we've been wanting to get it going, Isak Paredes, hit 2 home runs in this game. And, if they can get him going, like we said earlier on a future episode, if he can get going, he's going to be a weapon for this team.
For sure. Um, like, and what name did you say again? What name did you say again?
I said
Oh,
Paredes.
yeah, Paredes. Paredes did amazing. When I saw that it said he had 2 home runs, I'm like, just like you, I was like, I hope he gets it going. Um, the guy for me though to highlight, and I know we'll get there when we get there, was Spencer Arrighetti. Another good game for him.
Yeah. I mean, Arrighetti, he's kind of been the stabling force so far in your rotation this year. Yeah, it wasn't his best outing. Well, I mean, it's only his second outing, but he wasn't as sharp as he was versus the Rockies. But he got you 5 innings and only allowed 2 runs. That's basically what you can hope for from an Astros pitcher now, based off of just how bad they've been. 4 walks to 3 strikeouts. You definitely want to improve on that, but he still got through 5 innings. Uh, Going back to the offense, Christian Walker came away with a home run this game. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but he did start going with a handlebar mustache. He was in a bit of a slump. And one thing that Christian Walker liked to do last year whenever he was struggling was change up his beard. He would go clean shaven, he would go full beard, he'd go mustache, but right now he's rocking a handlebar mustache, which is pretty funny.
That is funny, and we always said baseball players and even fans are superstitious. And well, Christian Walker all season though, to be fair, has been rocking. I mean, besides, I know we talk a lot about Jordan and deserved, but Walker has been the second best offensive player, arguably behind Jordan. And if his thought this season was to just grow a mustache, and that's what's working, then keep growing the mustache.
Yeah, Bryce Matthews, he gets a double, puts the Astros up 4-2. Correa in the singles scores Bryce Matthews 6-2. Diaz gets a sacrifice fly. Cam Smith with a sacrifice fly, and Isak Paredes with his second home run. Kind of another thing to talk about is the injuries with this team. You know, uh, Taylor Trammell, who was doing really good for you up until this point since being called up. He blows a tire. He goes on the 10-day IL. That's unfortunate. And you have to call up Dustin Harris, who is someone you just claimed from the White Sox. They made a minor trade with the Yankees, I believe, and acquired. Pull up my notes here. They acquired Brandon Schumacher or Brandon Schumacher or whatever. And we're just rolling with guys who were just like you picked up from the stands. There is some positives though. Zach DeZenzo is going to go on a rehab tonight. Bennett Sousa is going to redo a rehab tonight. He could be back for the Yankee series tomorrow. And Zach Cole is currently in Single A on a rehab assignment. And was it Nate Pearson? Nate Pearson guy who is also was going to start his rehab assignment in AAA. So none of these guys are say like needle movers per se, but they're guys with major league experience, guys who you've seen success from at some points in their career, and guys who you want to have back, guys so you can have more of a stabilized approach. It's just what we need at this moment with all these injuries.
Yeah, just nothing much to say besides like it was just a good overall game from the Astros. If you bought a ticket to this game, you saw solid pitching and you saw shocking enough again, uh, a great offense.
Yeah, Steven Okert went an inning. Blue Ball went an inning, two scoreless innings from Okert and Blue Ball. Jaden Murray, who was called back up, he's been up and down a couple times. He threw two scoreless innings with two strikeouts. He's been pretty decent for you so far this year. And the final score of this game is 9-2. Astros take the first game. And game two, this was a frustrating one because you were in control of the game for literally till the eighth inning. Jordan Alvarez, he continues to mash. He hit, you know, hit a single at the challenge overturned. And then Jordan Alvarez hit a double in this game. Just continues to get on base, continues to do great. Carlos Correa got a hit, RBI hit. Bryce Matthews. Bryce Matthews has had a couple hits this series. He's still not doing too great on the season, but it's nice to see him contributing at the least while you have all these injuries. Correa so far, he's been decent, but he needs to be better with the bases loaded. He's had so many opportunities with the bases loaded this year, and he's left a lot of men on. But if he's gonna hit around that 280, that 280 mark and have about, high 700, low 800 OPS, that's fine. He's not what he once was, but that's what you're pretty much like just want the leadership out of him and the production and the defense.
Yeah, and we would go on to see the debut of Harris, and you know, um, yeah, that's literally it. Pretty much is the debut of Harris, but I would say our boy Tang, with another good outing. I mean, there are articles circulating saying that the Astros want to scratch Tang into the starter. What are your thoughts on that?
If you make Tang a starter, then you don't have Tang in the bullpen. That's my concern.
Yeah, and my thoughts are if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, you just try and make it work. I would like to keep Tang in the bullpen. Yeah, I feel like he'd be a great starter, but I figure his value is most suited in the bullpen right now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
It's Speaking of pitching, Ryan Weiss started this game. He's had a rough two starts. He's only gone like 3 point something innings in both of them, 5 hits, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. His problem so far has just been keeping the ball in the zone. And obviously, can't all be perfect, but if you're in the offseason saying how I'm signing here to be a starter, I want to be a starter, and you're only going less than 4 innings in both of your first two starts. I understand you're not super stretched out to be a starter, but you got to back up what you're saying. This not enough from him. Colton Gordon, he had a scoreless inning, one strikeout. Like you said, Kaiwei Tang, 2.2 scoreless innings, one walk, two strikeouts. And then this is where things just really got away from them. Is De Los Santos comes in, he's not sharp. He gives up 3 earned runs. And then Brian King comes in. He's already pitched a little bit. He's asked to throw too many pitches. He allows some runs. And really, for the first time, De Los Santos and King, who have looked really solid to start the year, kind of get hit around. And it's really frustrating to see just how control you were in that game. And then, your two of your most reliable relievers to this point come in and wet the bed.
Yeah, this game is definitely one that just got out of your hands, and you know, it, we Weiss didn't even do that bad of a job, especially for a guy that's not even meant to be a starter. Gordon might have found his groove as a bullpen arm. That's the weird thing. Um, and Tang's just been Tang. He's been literally a reliable arm. I mean, King's even been reliable. Is it a little bit, of just overused? Maybe. De Los Santos, I mean, we have yet to see what we're getting for him if he's, reliable or if he's just another guy in the pen. But overall it's just a game that got away from you and it hurts to lose these kind of games, but you can probably just, it's not exactly one of those games you're gonna hurt yourself on, You can move on to the next one.
Yeah, it's just frustrating in the aspect of, you had it and then, your bullpen, which is already spent and already, struggling to start the year, just didn't come through with two of your more reliable guys. And, the offense, they did, 5 runs should be enough to win you a game. 10 hits total, 5 RBIs, walked 3 times. Paredes with a hit, Cam Smith with 2 hits, Yainer Diaz with a hit, Matthews with 2 hits. And Yainer Diaz, even though he's not been that great at the plate, he's been getting a lot better with challenging balls inside the zone. He's been getting a lot better with knowing when to use the ABS, and he's been kind of on a roll this series with challenging pitches.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen any.
he is getting better. Um, Now, obviously, we're gonna talk about game 3, and, I guess you can say this is my segue into game 3. Now, let me ask you something, Noah, and don't get it wrong. What is something that always happens in a series?
Jordan Alvarez hitting a home run.
Yep, it's guaranteed. Uh,
Game 3, Astros win 2-0. Wasn't a very high scoring game, but one swing from Jordan Alvarez is enough to win you the game.
Yep.
But not even. Sorry to segue back into yesterday. You were facing Mr. Parker Messick, who has been arguably the best pitcher in baseball this year. And coming into this game at point, he had like a 1 ERA. I believe earlier in the year, he had a no hitter going into like the 9th. I think that might have been against the Rangers, but
Yeah.
Messick has been really, really good. And kind of you figured this game was gonna be a loss because of Messick, but you didn't lose because of him. You got to him for 3 runs,
Well,
which is
the
saying
offense has
something
been
for his.
fantastic, like, pretty much all year.
Yeah, but being able to get to a pitcher of Messick's caliber, that's pretty good, even though you lost. But
Yeah. But, yeah,
and then
death
one swing of the
taxes
bat is all it takes
death
in game
taxes,
3.
and a yard on home run. That's what we're guaranteed.
Astros have had Correa batting in the leadoff spot while these injuries are happening. He's looked okay. He's batting 284 on the year. Yordan Alvarez, I think he's going for that triple crown, if I'm being completely honest, if he keeps it up. He said he's on pace for like 60
Yeah,
plus homers.
67, that's what I saw on an article that I read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Altuve, he's looked kind of lost this series. I'm not sure if you saw any of the highlights, but he's just gone back to that aggressive approach. He's no longer letting the pitchers come to him. He's not waiting for his pitch, and it's dropped his average and OPS significantly. But he looks lost right now. And if he just goes back to being patient, going back to, I know he's always been a free swinger, but
Yeah,
he's just got
like,
to,
I know you can see
letting
my
go.
camera. Like, Altuve's strike zone has always been pretty much at the top of the strike zone. That's his hot zone. He loves the balls high. But what's wrong is like if you're gonna keep chasing sliders away or fastballs way up here that are disappearing outside the strike zone, then and on top of that, not like we said to Yanir, not having an approach, then you're pretty much just wasting an at bat. You gotta stick with what you know,
Yeah.
especially for Altuve. And I understand with him the pressure is different. With him, he probably feels like, this is my team and stuff like that. And you know, I gotta find a way to get him out of this slump and all that. It's like someone has to tell him, like, dude, you have like a lot of like all stars behind you and a lot of great young players that are coming up. Don't press so much.
Yeah. He'll get out of it eventually. He's gone through stretches like these. Walker with a hit, Paredes with a hit. Cam Smith going 0 for 4. One thing I kind of want to see from Cam Smith is that he has the tools, but he just needs to be more consistent. Yeah, he's barreling balls. Yeah, he's hitting balls hard, but you can barrel all the balls you want. You can have all the high exit velos and everything you want, but those got to turn into productive. You know, it's got to turn into productive. Hits. Yeah, I understand he's gotten unlucky. With hitting balls straight to batters, but I just got to see more consistency out of Cam Smith because right now he's been also in a bit of a slump.
Yeah, like not even trying to defend Cam Smith, but I will say this: he was facing Tanner Bybee, who's like one of the best pitchers in MLB, and sometimes that's gonna happen. Followed by Hunter Gaddis, who is one of the best relievers. Because like the Guardians, they seemingly always have better, like really good pitching. Their offense is always going to be in question, though. Even though their offense has been, I mean, it's looked solid this year. This year, it's never looked the best. But you really look at this Guardians offense when it comes to the one, two, three, four hole. That's literally their offense. Here, just in case I'm missing. Oh, sorry, five. They had his name
Yeah,
weird so like 1 through 5. That's literally their entire offense. Sheeman will do something
yeah,
occasionally. We gotta have to learn more about Martinez. You know, Bo
Manzardo, Ramirez,
Naylor. Bo
Delauder.
Naylor's gonna hit a home run. Yeah, I mean, Bo Naylor to me is literally the stereotypical modern day catcher. He hits a home run occasionally, but he's mostly known for his defense. And then Rocchio is just basically your modern day stopgap shortstop, where he's really good defensively. He can switch hit, but other than that, if he gets anything to hit, I mean that's just bonus. That's just a bonus on anything. Valera, I think, is still developing at his age. Yeah, he's 25. So, I mean, realistically, this was a telltale sign of Astros pitching. And besides one game, we did do a solid job. But we do
Yeah,
need
I
to
mean
we yeah.
today was Peter Lambert's day. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. I mean, he was pumping like 97 at some points. AJ Bluebaugh, after not after struggling for a lot, he's kind of been getting better as he's been finding more of a role for himself, not being just thrust into, all right, here you go. Here's a no outs with the bases loaded. Here you go. And then Okert's continued to have been solid. De Los Santos came in. I mean, it got kind of dicey there in the ninth. There was some poor defense, but he ultimately got the save. He got a 4-out save. He's been solid. So this was other than game two. The Astros pitching was really good this series.
Yeah, for real. And so like I said, this is a big telltale sign. And I think Lambert can even be a solid like 4 or 5 guy for us. And I think he has all the tools to stay up with us. Like the 2 times he's gotten called up, if I'm not mistaken, like so that last time, he even had a solid outing last time. So
Yeah, he got. I think he pitched versus the Cardinals. He didn't. He did okay.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
okay.
I think he needs to stay up. He needs to be a pitcher in that rotation, and he can help us. Um, because
Yeah,
yeah,
so
because he's showing us that he can do it, especially against the Guardians team, which is a good, test for any starting pitcher. And
but we got the ultimate test coming up against the Yankees tomorrow.
boy,
Not that the Yankees are setting the league on fire, but they're probably the best team you've played so far this year.
yeah. Um, Let me see where they're at. And standings wise.
I think they're like 14 and
Oh yeah,
9,
they're
14 and
first in
something.
their division. They're 15-9. Their last 10 games are 7 wins and 3 losses. So they're riding a hot streak.
Yeah, they got good pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, we've typically always owned the Yankees. Hopefully that makes, the energy come back out. Carlos Correa being on the team, being at home. So let's just got to go in there. You got to win. You got to keep, because if you do have, like you looked at, we talked about it off air. It's not easy pickings from here on out. You got a lot of playoff teams, a lot of playoff hopeful teams you're facing.
Yeah, so in our last 10, we're 4-6. Now here's the so we're at home, correct? Okay, that's good, because at home we're 7-6, and away we're 3-10.
All right. Who is going for the Astros tomorrow? Let me pull it up here. If it'll even say. Oh, tomorrow, I like how tomorrow's a Hunter Brown orange jersey giveaway. Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, and I'm actually I'm actually planning on streaming those games live unless something goes like terribly wrong. Because you want to see me react to a game? Trust me, I'll react to a game. I get, I get.
We're facing Will Warren tomorrow, who's been very good for the Yankees. 2-0 with a 2.49 ERA, and then we got Lance McCullers going for us tomorrow. Hopefully, Lance McCullers is energized and ready to go. I want to see a Lance McCullers win versus the Yankees.
Yeah, OMJ. Unless you count Hunter Brown, but Hunter Brown's been injured. Has been literally our best pitcher this season.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry for kind of like not being super uh up to date so far, because I didn't pay too much attention to this series other than some highlights and some. I've been pretty busy lately with work, so. But then again, I should be able to watch these Yankees games, and we'll come to you with a good recap. And Heel will bring the energy of streaming the games if he does stream
Yeah,
them.
I plan to. Cause there was an old streamer that I used to watch that had this thing that goes, "Fuck the Yankees."
Sorry for cursing.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to be it for today. Astros have won the last two of their three series, even though it doesn't really feel like it. It still feels like we're kind of drowning, but we're we've been better, and hopefully we continue it against the big bad Yankees. All right, so I'm Noah, that's Seal, and we're heading off. See ya. And let me know if you want to see potentially us grading the Texans draft. The NFL draft is tonight, so if you guys want to see a draft breakdown video of what the Texans do, just let us know.
We need an offensive lineman and we need a wide receiver because all of them apparently can't stay healthy.
Yeah, I'd probably go wide receiver in the later rounds, but I'd go interior offensive line and defensive tackle
I would
first.
probably this might be a hot take. I would go offensive lineman so that way Stroud doesn't have a excuse for this upcoming season. Like, see, we got your guy. Like, and we signed a lot of guys too, so make it work.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys.
Peace.